I really want to see some actual good
And
hard
Alistar
CC.
is not enough.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's fearless, so we won't it's not even possible that we see Alistar again.
True, they can't like do the salty run back. Was that
The salty run back? Yeah, good. The salty run back is a age-old classic. SK on blue side, but the bans thus far for them remaining the same. Maokai still banned, Ezreal still banned.
The Ezreal ban is like a respect ban towards Keduii. He's one of the best Ezreals in EU. Faced off against him a lot last year, and it's a go-to ban for many teams.
Not giving him that comfort, which was something that Fnatic learned about firsthand.
Yeah. So I think, like, for me, a big reason why Fnatic lost was they were just cocky. They gave SK everything they wanted, and they disrespected them both in draft and in game. And SK punished, but it doesn't look like KC.
KC drafted just like the stock standard, super strong, pretty respectful composition. And again, KC did just come off of a loss to Fnatic, so they probably are like, okay,
SK are running it back with an easy-to-play draft, probably Azir first pick. Now some tanky boys.
Look, the building blocks are there.
Yeah.
I think the only day in the history of League of Legends I've been rooting for, like, again, normal stuff.
Yeah.
But for both these teams, given the context of them coming into this series, I think normal's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to mess up an Azir draft, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
MF Ivern, maybe? No.
Shut up. No one asked you, bro.
I mean, I think MF Rel here would be good, but maybe you want to wait with the support so you don't get counterpicked. It's going to be MF Vi, actually.
Okay, I mean, solid combo to kick fights off. With Sejuani out of the equation. The Vi surprise. I mean, again, or the thing that I will say is, yike. Very poor record on the Vi.
Wow, these picks are going fast.
Very quickly.
Zhao Jhin insta into an Akali answer into this Azir. I like the Jhin pick. It's good lane into MF, and it's also Keduii one of his best champions as well.
Also nice to the Vi. I think the ulti, oftentimes the Vi overextends. The ulti can buy you so much time and space. It's good against the MF ult. Not so good against the Akali, but...
It's not crazy good into Vi Akali, but it's kind of decent into them because you can just play so far back that you don't need to interact with them. But if they do interact with you, you're not happy.
Okay, we have, hyper carry mid lane. We have utility AD carry to start fights. We got a Jhin who can play aggressive early game. I like what they're cooking.
And a Rel band, very good. A great pairing with the MF. And now I really want to see some healing champions for the side of SK. Something like an Alistar would be great, but that's already taken out. I think something like a Rakan could do really well. At just
Scion.
At Poppy ban here is good. It's another good Poppy game for the side of SK against this Vi and Akali.
This time it's banned, so...
This time it's banned, yeah. I think just some CC that can actually lock up this Vi and Akali when they jump in to buy this Azir and Jhin some space is much needed.
Would have been nice to have Leona, but Leona also taken away.
Yeah.
What is the option? How much we got left in terms of defensive support?
I'm curious to see if they if KC wants to blind pick support here. I think, is there any really...
What's the MF pairing you would want? This is my beef with MF.
Just go Rakan. I think you just go Rakan, and then it's good. It's not the best with MF, but it's good with Vi and Akali.
Yeah.
And you just need a tanky boy on top, and you're pretty happy. But it's going to be the Gnar blind pick. So what's interesting about this is that they're choosing to blind pick top, despite the fact that they kind of cover band for bot and for comp.
Yeah.
So...
And with
normally
Rakan,
this could be punished, but...
I mean, with Rakan banned, though, I think maybe they just think it's going to be range bot lane matchup.
Yeah, could be. I mean, you could also go for a Braum blind pick, but then definitely they're going to answer with... Ooh!
Okay.
This would be a crazy counter.
Okay! All right, Boukada back to normal stuff. Gen X on the weird stuff. I told you they were taking turns! Okay.
Let's see if Loopy gets to play something crazy as well. How crazy do they go? I think he has to play something boring.
I think he has to play something super boring. They just need to survive.
Blind pick, huh?
Like, Azir Vlad is insane scaling, but God, you're...
Oh?
Oh? Oh? Oh?
Oh?
How many times can we just make sounds that aren't words? Oh? Oh! Wow. Okay!
The Pantheon support here, so a very strong, aggressive laner for the side of SK.
I like it. Point and click CC means MF can never ult as long as you're in the nearby vicinity. The E offers you a lot of like pseudo tankiness, even against champions like Akali or the Vi.
I think it could just be a Braum lock-in for the side of KC. Should be a pretty good lane. Or they want to go
fire
crazy.
With fire? I thought we were getting stuck.
Oh! This is so funny. I just told Drakos that I talked to Lebrov and he played Fiddlesticks against me in solo queue, and Lebrov was like, "Oh, Fiddle's so OP, no? You couldn't play against it, no? I'm gonna play it." And then I was like, "No, you won't." And he's like, "No, it's actually good." And now, Targamas just locked it in.
All right, you know what? I don't know if we capture cursed it into a weird draft or what happened there, but this is going to be sick.
Okay, so why is Fiddlesticks a good support? Well, I had the displeasure of playing against it and getting fisted. So, the reason why it's so strong is you go Comet and you use your little silence, and then you play kind of like a Karma early game where you're just perma walking up, poking, and they can never go on you because you're like tanky and you have the fear and you have the drain, so they can't actually engage on you, but you can perma poke, and then once you get that level 6, I mean, everybody knows level 6 Fiddlesticks is a scary experience.
The Crow Storm. Oh yeah, where's Medic when you need him? Probably already home. Okay, so we just have the casual Pantheon versus Fiddle support.
Should be a bloodbath for bottom.
This is gonna be sick. I never have ever wanted to look away from like an Akali lane usually, but now I just don't care. Take me bot.
And top lane is Vladimir into Gnar, so it's like
every lane is interesting. Jungle is our most boring matchup.
True.
Oh, this is a great time to be alive.
And this is one of the things like that is so cool about Fearless. It's not necessarily like there were not that many champions taken out in this draft. I mean, there were a lot of supports.
Yeah.
But it's about the idea and the concepts that players now, when they practice, they're always looking to try new things in
100%.
case they might need it.
Yeah, because the Braum was there.
Yeah, the Braum was there.
Fine. It would have been fine. It's really nice against the Pantheon it's in to have, but instead, we're trying something a little bit crazier. The Fiddle.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Comet with Resolve secondary. So you have that poke, you have the bone plating for when they actually go on you.
Yep.
And what Targamas just wants to do is just poke them out a ton early game and make essentially Jhin and Pantheon not able to play lane. That's his goal. He should play like a lane bully.
Yep.
And then once he hits that level 6, every bush, super scary for SK to face check.
This is going to be a good one.
Let's lock in.
Okay. So, anytime we see stuff like an Akali on one side, and I think like an Azir and a Vladimir on the other, the importance of KC finding some sort of advantage to free up space for this Akali to side lane to be a monster, to stop what always feels like an inevitable late game when you see Vladimir. I mean, especially again paired with something like Azir is crucial. And so I like that they went for the Fiddle, because Fiddle's going to fist fight bot lane. Braum would have, you just would have been on the defensive the entire laning phase.
Yeah. I'm not sure if like SK actually outscale that much, because like Gnar is also scaling incredibly well, and I feel like if he's able to pick up MR, then he should be fine against Vladimir at most stages of the game.
I mean, the side lane wits end Gnar, those autos in mini form can be devastating. We'll see what Gen X is cooking up here in the Vladimir. We've seen it a decent amount, right?
Yeah.
But it's one of those champions that can, depending on whose hands is it or who's playing it, it can look very different.
If this was Zeus Vladimir, I'd be very scared right now.
But we'll see. We'll see.
If it was Zeus anything, I'd probably be scared. But
yeah, okay. We'll see where Gen X rates. How close to Zeus he'll play today is hope from Targamas. Annoying. Bot Prio still in favor of SK here in the early levels.
Yeah. That's just mostly due to like Jhin push level 1 and also the threat of the Pantheon all in. But as we can see, Keduii has gotten chunked all the way down to half HP. He does still have a potion ticking up now. But every single Fiddlesticks. It's also the thing that I actually forgot to mention. Is the thing is, I realized this while playing against Fiddlesticks, his E isn't really dodgeable. It's a skill shot, but there's no skill involved. He just presses it on you.
Is it dodgeable post boots? Is it like playing against Brand in early levels?
No.
It's just actually, it's too fast,
I mean,
right?
it might be dodgeable post boots. I'm not sure.
But it's also,
it's not like Brand W. Brand W
it's 40
is like,
mana also.
It's 40 mana?
It's 40 mana. And again, this is, I'm just looking at low analytics right now to find builds. But rank 1, it's 40 mana.
That's crazy.
Which is why he still has a ton
Full
of
mana early, yeah. It's just spamming the E off cooldown.
So if you're looking for something to play in solo queue that will make your team mad, try Fiddlesticks.
Or maybe it'll make your team happy if you carry bot lane.
If you carry bot lane, yeah. But anytime I say recommend anyone to play anything questionable or new,
yeah,
I always want to prepare them for the worst.
Keduii is still holding on here, despite the fact that Targamas is landing a lot of E's. They're still able to maintain the push, and now it's going to be Boukada able to clear out this bot side scuttle.
We really need to
the top one.
I do think we need to see Boukada find some sort of play here on the map, though.
Yeah.
Because again, if Yike just gets to level 6
Yeah.
for free without forcing any fights, it's incredibly good. Nice fear from Targamas, fall up there, Aegis Assault. Flash already gone from Targamas. Boukada can just walk in. They've got 2 creeps, and I think it'll be enough. Boukada just going in. 3 Talon Strike looking to lock up Caliste as well. Excellently played tower dive there. Small window of opportunity, but capitalized on the side of KC. Vladi now on the way down, but it's Keduii in trouble. Might just have to accept his death here. Will do so. Stun goes in. Now it's Vladi as well. You can't walk face first into the Pantheon sin.
What a bloodbath as it starts off with Targamas disrespecting on the weak side. He's forced to flash and SK immediately pounce. They're able to dive him and take him down, but then it's Caliste with the help of Vladi, knowing he's moving, keeps them interested, buys a ton of time, and you can see it here. Like, Targamas gets chained up by the Jhin W, has to flash away, but now he's so low that SK can actually execute the dive because they can just one-shot him under tower. But then it's Caliste here that now fights Keduii. Keduii has to make a choice between what pathing he takes. If he flashes, I think he should just run to the wall and flash over. But because Caliste walks up, he gets baited. Vladi kind of disrespects the Pantheon damage and just gets one shot.
And again, I think if Vladi isn't there, Keduii probably just walks out.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, so him being there is what forces Keduii to walk back into Caliste and get that
Vladi
kill.
should have an assist.
So Vladi should technically have an assist, but League of Legends can't figure that one out. I will say the Fiddlesticks remains interesting, but they've just completely opted out of the 2v2 now. They've decided the Pantheon a bit too much, as spicy as the Fiddle is.
Yeah.
And our wonderful team, 2019 LEC Summer, last time we saw a Fiddlestick.
When was the last played support? That's probably never, maybe?
Before the rework, if I had to guess.
True, actually.
Because it had good rework, right? Oh, that's the ulti. Targamas now moving in. Quick silence, fear as well, but a lot of healing going to come out.
Oh, Janak's holding his ground here. Shad.
Boukada. Get some good pressure. Movement speed from Canna, good. One becomes lightning, missing. I mean, well played by Canna actually to walk out of that one.
I do wonder if Boukada could have flashed there onto him and layered it with the Loopy Pantheon W. But it is going to be Canna being zoned off of bot lane here. But Janax is going to be able to TP top, and I don't think they actually have the damage to dive Janax. So this is a huge early advantage for SK, as they should be able to zone Canna for quite a bit longer, as Targamas is taking his sweet old time to get back in this bot lane.
And I think this is one of the big strengths of a champion like the Pantheon in the support position, is he's just such a powerhouse early game that if you get any kind of lead, you take so much space on the map. That said, Grubs are getting taken down. Still a pretty sizable gold lead to SK, however. Even if they haven't turned it into a neutral objective, it will be the Grub for Drake trade in the end, however, to balance things out.
Yeah, this feels great for SK to be able to get this early game, and I do think when the Fiddle doesn't get that early lane bully potential, I feel like how I at least imagine and visualize Fiddlestick support is that when it's ahead, it's incredibly obnoxious, you can never face check any ambush. But when it's behind, Fiddle can't really face check bushes, and nobody on the side of SK really need to worry about the Fiddle anymore. Because, like, yeah, you can ulti, but you need your whole team behind you.
It's similar to, I don't know if you remember, there was one time where Mickey played Lysandra support, I want to say, into Rakan.
Yeah, he loved it into Rakan, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, the cool thing about that is if you get fed, you have money for Zhonya's. You feel like a god.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're broke. And this champion can't really find those scenarios without any money.
He's dead.
Wind becomes lightning, plus the flash from Boukada. Nice follow-up using the Q3 instead to hit Caliste. And now they want to keep the dive going. Keduii look for the ball, forcing the flash out from Caliste as well. And just complete dominance here on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, it's incredibly well played by SK. And again, it's Targamas getting caught when Boukada is bot lane. He's not prepared for it, he's not ready for it, and they're looking to dive Caliste here, but Yike is here.
Again, I think the other struggle is, again, the Pantheon, the Aegis Assault, the E, means that Yike can't just immediately try to fish for an ulti.
Yeah. I mean, the silver lining for KC is that Caliste is able to just continue farming up despite Targamas dying.
But I will say after that game one, good recovery from SK to find a better draft.
Much better draft, much better game
Much
plan.
better early game. Because I didn't think we'd be talking about silver linings for KC at all after that first game.
True.
But now they're the team
fighting
behind.
0-2 Fiddlestick support. You gotta talk about silver linings.
Yes, you do. I mean, Vladi went down bot lane as well, right? Spent some of that time. Reeker staying even here in the mid lane matchup. You said the scaling isn't quite as one-sided as you know, it'd be too much of an oversimplification. Just be like, oh, Vlad just outscales, given how strong Gnar can be. But SK are super comfortable in this game at the very least.
The thing is now, because Gnar got zoned off from this bot lane, oh, he might even be in trouble here under tower. No, he's going to be able to take over to Mega, so not a threat of being dove. But the problem is he's down a full level on Jhin, I say, as he's now jumping forward and trading.
Got the wall up, but will be able to get the ult on the way out. Knocks it back to the wave. Yike on the way up. Boukada should just try to fake the 1v1 here. As long as Yike can't get involved, Jhin is just stronger in the 1v1.
I think Canna there wanted to fight because he thought Yike was close, not knowing that Boukada was there as well. And now Canna is able to get a good trade, but I think Jhin can easily just out-sustain this and keep draining. Oh, but he took into face check Yike here.
Jhin a bit over-eager. Big damage going down. Yike might just be able to finish the kill solo. Sanguine Pool coming out. Loopy now there to cover. Targamas over the wall.
Doesn't have the flash. He's going to be fine, actually. He's going to have to lose a wave probably on top lane as Canna pushes it out, but they're looking to fight over this red buff, but Jhin needs the base, so you're going to think the better of it.
Yeesh.
It feels a bit... This feels quite good for Canna here. He's able to get a free outpush due to Jhin's face check, and able to get back a little bit in that XP department and the CS department, maybe even picking up a little plate. Not quite.
Double bounce. We'll be able to walk that one off. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, you got resets coming in from Loopy. We'll see where he wants to go. Open mid is the setup for Targamas. He needs to stick around for just a little bit of XP. You can see he's incredibly close. That purple bar right under the character portrait. Just about to tick over to level 6. That's where maybe we get to see some more playmaking. If you haven't seen Fiddlesticks for some reason, remember, if he's unseen as he comes in with any ability, he gets that quick little fear, which can be devastating. But right now, Fog of War not favoring KC. SK were the ones with push topside, so we're able to set up a lot of proactive vision, and we'll use that to secure the second spawn of Grubs.
And the Drake and Grub spawn are desynced here, so it's not going to be possible for KC to get any sort of Drake trade. A bit curious to see what Targamas is building. Some potential Trailblazer, maybe?
Trailblazer seems to be the most common build that we're seeing in solo queue.
Yeah.
Again, I love the
It makes sense that you get the movement speed. Otherwise, you can easily get kited, and you don't really want to have to use the ulti just to, you know, reach someone with a fear.
Yeah. And then later we'll see if he wants to go something more supportive or more personally defensive like Lasagna's. But it's really just hard to get that amount of money if you're not the one getting kills.
Yeah. I mean, the problem now is when you play these kind of off-meta high damage supports, you really want to stay ahead of the curve so that you always have enough personal damage that you can actually semi-one-shot someone.
Yeah.
But when you fall behind, the thing is now, Keduii, Reeker, and Jhin, they don't really have to worry about Fiddlesticks himself.
Yeah, if you ever see him, you just jump on
might
him.
have to worry here.
Boukada, that's the Crow Storm going in. Set up there, he's gonna get a chance to push the ult. Now it's Vladi chasing down Crow Storm. Gone, pushback, just barely not collecting on Caliste, and that's another kill for KC.
And it's SK trying to face check against this Fiddlesticks, disrespecting the Fiddlesticks engage range. Targamas doesn't even have to flash to get on top of them. And it's a Drake going outside of KC, and it feels like the momentum has shifted back in their favor.
It has, and I think that's just that little bit of disrespect from SK. Not having the vision set up, not quite being in a good enough position. Overcommitment from Boukada. Maybe a pixel short on that Azir ult to stop the MF ult from working, but
and you can tell he kind of knows that they're there. He clicks back while hitting the ward, but he thinks he's fine because he's seen Zhao, he has the ultimate. But it's a really good CC chain from the side of KC, and then when Reeker try to help him, it's already doomed.
And in a blink of an eye, the gold lead is gone. Dead even now. Again, I guess on the positive side, Jhin made it through the first 9 levels in a pretty decent state. Rank 5 in that queue, the transfusion is always where Vladimir starts to feel very cozy in lane.
But the thing is, I feel like, from my POV, it's the first few levels that Gnar should struggle the most, and that Gnar is completely equal now, especially after he got zoned for so many waves in that bot lane. I think you're pretty happy as Canna.
I mean, now you also have the healing reduction to make things that much harder. Cosmic Drive finish for Jhin. SK still grouping around this objective, probably with a bit more respect for Targamas than they had moments ago.
And it's the synchronized souls for Targamas to roam around and recall. I think those boots are very underrated.
Yeah, they look strong in every game I see them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not as convinced of the Aurora top with it that Adam showed But you are very fast. I will say that.
Yeah, I think Aurora, like... Oh, we got a fight. I think Adam's, the rest of his build for me was the maybe weird part with Shirelius.
Yeah.
But I think the Synchronized Souls tech can be good. I've seen Valve's build it a ton.
The patron saint of top laners, I think it's safe to say.
Kind of the inventor.
The innovator.
Ooh.
Good lockup chain. Boukada going to look to follow if wind becomes lightning, but a nice fear from Targamas disengages, and Yike felt the wind on his backside there. A bullet about to clean him up.
It's going to be Yike here losing the flash and Boukada being able to pick up this blue buff, while Keduii loses a little bit of this mid wave to make this play happen. But it's still, it's the side of SK losing push in every lane apart from this Vladimir lane. So I really want to see them able to either play through this Vladimir or send Pantheon on a side lane with the ultimate and make a play happen. Because I've yet to see Loopy really, I don't think he has used Pantheon ult yet this game.
Definitely haven't seen it. If he has, it's a good call out. Genex, as you said, fighting for a topside push. FLICKR unfortunately not able to step up on the bottom side as of yet, knowing he's on the weak side. So what does this topside pressure mean? We're a minute away from the Herald. It's not bad to have that top lane pressure. Canna might have to be careful under the tower. He's a sleepy boy. Stuck in mini is a rough deal. Genex gonna reset the tower aggro. Do they want to keep hitting him here? Q3 goes through. Boukada finding it. But now it's Vladi on the chain, dashing through. Looking to finish this kill onto Genex. Hoping to find a little bit more. He finds one. Vladi wants to keep it going. He goes back to the shroud. And he's just gonna walk it off.
Oh my god. And Vladi there, recognizing that Genex has no pool. He flashes in, ultis forward, and he's able to take down Genex, making it a 1-for-1. Rikku will take bot tower here, but Caliste is on him.
So starting moving in, FLICKR fishing for it, but there's Targamas just clipping it with the edge of the fear, the instantaneous silence to stop any follow-up.
It's a disaster for SK. You feel like, as FLICKR, Vladi's TP top. I should be able to get this bot tower, right? No. Caliste and Targamas are moving, and they take down FLICKR, while Keduii can only get a few auto attacks on this mid tower, as Yike actually cancels his space, and Loopy might be in trouble here. No, he's going to be fine. But still, it's a great adaptation from KC, moving down their bot lane to bot lane to defend the bot tower. That's a lot of bot lanes.
It was. We now know who wins the name battle.
Caliste just blocked the Jhin W for Canna. That's why he used to go.
It's those little things. Denying a little bit of those resources.
Yeah. That's the type of stuff that makes me mad when I play. When enemy ADC does that. Because I know that it's like correct for them to do.
But it just feels petty. You're like, come on, man.
Stop.
Canna.
Oh.
Mega catches him. Oh, FLICKR thought he had the angle. It doesn't really matter that much, but still looks good. Now the fight breaking out. Genex still doing a decent amount of damage here, trying to set things up with the Tides of Blood. Loopy standing on the front line. The Herald already taken down. Boukada able to steal it, but now Caliste is on the chase. Keduii taken out. It's all falling apart for SK. Genex the only strong point, but now he's silenced. Once that Q3, the Crimson Rush. There's just so much CC. He's not able to get the extra healing. Excellent backstep to deny the Crimson Rush. Now they're just going to kill him. The silence. Tides of Blood going in. A bit more healing. He needs an extra second. Can't finish it.
Oh my god, it's a disaster for SK as they just get outplayed on every single turn. KC are able to pick up 4 kills here. And let's watch the replay. Loopy, ulti's crazy here. I don't know, way too far to the right. He's not able to join the fight. He has to flash W. Boukada's already went down. Caliste can flash forward to finish Keduii off. And then Genex here, he has no flash, can't get over the wall. He gets kited. Beautiful spacing by Caliste. It feels terrible. You get feared. You don't get the enhanced Q on the Vladimir.
You finally get it back up again. But again, Vlad Q damage is instantaneous, but the heal returning to you takes time. So dies before that can come back, even as he tries to get the Q off. Sheesh.
Sheesh Louise.
Sheesh Louise. Yeah, sure. Why? I mean, 5 minutes ago was a 1,000 gold lead for SK.
True.
There it is. Great grab. Great job, production. This is... Wow. Okay, back to silver linings for SK.
Oh, he missed cannon. Can you give me a silver lining? If I'm down 2k gold and I missed the cannon,
another one will spawn in a couple of waves, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
There's always another cannon.
I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah. And I will say, I was an MF hater. They locked in a draft. I was immediately salty about it. I'm not the biggest MF fan, but 5-0-2 from Caliste. Putting the Bloodthirster to work. That's a fake Fiddle Flash.
I mean, the champ does have incredibly strong laning phase and quite good. Oh, early team fighting here.
Vladi chasing on to Loopy. Loopy caught out. The Aegis Assault is decent, but it just does not matter.
And this, it's funny how I feel like both supports are kind of taking their turns getting caught out. First it was Targamas in the early game, and now it's Loopy later on in the game. And oh, Targamas might be the one getting caught here. Has to flash.
Flashing back. Yike pushed away from FLICKR. Follow-up is there. Targamas not going to be able to get involved, but Caliste zooming over there with the strut. Step back, silence. Yike taking a bit more time. Not quite going to be finished off. Caliste still chasing. Vladi wants to commit a bit more. Dash through. Managed to connect the E. R2 ready to go. Dashing back out because here comes the Pantheon. Vladi probably a little bit overheated. Will get taken out. Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
It's like in Zombieland. You really got to shoot twice. You really got to double tap. You got to make sure he's dead.
Yeah, Vladi having a little bit of fun here. Nearly able to take down FLICKR, but with the assistance of Loopy, Keduii, and Boukada, they're able to take him down. But now, a Rabadon finished for Akali, and Essence Reaver plus a BF sword for a map. This upcoming Altacon fight is looking very, very difficult for SK.
Yeah, this is a toughie, yeah, as it were. And you mentioned it earlier, right? We saw early in the game, Loopy getting a lot more done. Recently it's been Targamas getting a lot more done. But in the game League of Legends, I feel like if you're gonna make it to late game, early game is the best time to make, some upsies, to get caught out. As Genix, that's a lot of CC.
Oh,
he's trying to summon the Herald to escape. He goes into the pool. The Herald is spawning. He's gonna try to mount up, but he's feared. He's too afraid.
I mean, it's a valiant effort, but he's not able to get into the Herald in time. And gets picked off. I can
see how this champion is annoying, this Fiddlesticks champion.
Yeah.
He just is like, shut up, run away.
Yeah, he didn't really, we didn't really get to see the oppressive laning that, in my opinion, this champion has, but we're still seeing, even later on in the game, it's not like the champion scales bad. Yeah. Like, you have a great point-to-click CC.
Loopy has support from the team. Mid lane tower did break in the midst of that play.
Yeah.
But Otacon is falling, and it's extra life Otacon, which is great for Fiddlesticks.
Yeah. They're going to be able to siege this tier 2 bot as well. They'll be able to take down. Genix cannot defend. And SK are able to get this tier 1. Oh, they might not even be able to get this tier 1 top. Vladi goes in.
E2 marked, pushback good. Knocks him out of the trap. He's just barely able to get around the side. He should die. He's withdrawing. Okay.
Vladi is limit testing a little bit. I feel like going into some of these plays, going in 2v4.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a false life. 200 gold. Not too big of a deal. Still going to be able to catch that top wave. And he defended the tower for much longer, which does mean that Caliste and Canna are able to take up this tier 2 mid, and Keduii might be caught.
Keduii is definitely caught. Here comes the Fiddlesticks. Won't get the fear, but it's just zooming in for a bit extra damage. Silence there. Twist on the way. But Yike will still take the kill.
Yeah. And SK are being routed. And everywhere they go on the map.
The early game was better.
Yeah.
Right? The draft felt better. Boukada, Keduii, Loopy playing around the bottom side of the map. Great. They punished Yike. They didn't punish him the first few levels, but post level 4, that window between level 4 and level 6, they got so much done. And then it just, boop, disappeared. Blink of an eye. All gone. KC with that solid fight in the top river. And I just don't know what you do.
No. It's very difficult. I do think they have the...
Genix in trouble.
Oh, Genix. Oh.
Vladi versus Vladimir. Who wins? Are the extra letters enough for Genix? The answer is absolutely not.
The problem is that we're trying to think of a comeback for SK, and as soon as we can't think of something else goes wrong to make the game even harder.
Yep.
Like, in the span of the last 2 minutes, KC's gold lead has doubled.
If that's not a metaphor for life, what is? The hits just keep coming.
Yeah. As you try to find the solution, another problem arises.
Yep, you just got to take it in stride. FLICKR trying to make some solutions.
TP'd on here, yeah. Canna's behind.
Okay, where's he glide? Oh, that's not going to work.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, that's awkward. I don't know if he knew Fiddle was coming out. He just wants to one-shot Targamas, which would be great, except he has the false life buff. I don't know how much time it has left, but it won't be too much. Now he's trying to hold on to this Sun Disc, knowing it's all that's keeping him alive. Where's he going to go? Tries to sidestep. Decent pushback. Fleeing. Silence. Almost 0 health, but not quite 0 health. Yike about to get taken out. But he's just withdrawing. He's just withdrawing. There's 200 gold. And now we've got Vladi across the attack. Oh. All right, Naruto, get in there. He's dashing. He's dashing in. He's dashing in. SK trying to get some kills back. Genex not too bad of a spot. The pool is big. They don't have enough damage to finish him, but the silence! Oh my god, this champion is so annoying!
It's going to be KC. Oh, Caliste. Not able to go for more, unless... No. Okay, what a crazy turn of events. FLICKR wants to push out bot, but he gets TP'd on behind. He's able to hold the line for an insane amount of time. And then Genax TP's in, but oh no, it's the Loopy Pantheon ult. I thought it was the Genax TP. He ends up following Loopy here, and then he does a crazy play here where he E's backwards to get the E in the shroud, and then ultis forward, instantly E's backward to be fine. Wow.
Styling.
Vladi.
Styling. Very well played. I missed watching that play. One of my favorite things about Akali in Pro for like the entire 2 years that she was best in class was just watching the...
It's very satisfying.
The haphazard TP into bringing the Akali. And also the mini Akalis who reactivated the E just to die.
That's true. Like they just followed them into the base, or they followed them into like 5 people.
Them into 5 people.
Yeah.
It's a classic. All right. Whew. So if you're SK, you don't need to give me the silver lining. But I do want to talk about like what do you actually do in this situation? You're SK right now. Are you just, is it fishing for a pick? It feels so hard when you're not winning push in your side lanes. Like,
I mean, I do think you can still win team fights. Like you saw that fight was actually very close. It was on the back of FLICKR being able to chunk them down so much before he went down. But like Vladimir and Azir are still at 2 items to their respective counterpart. Like if we look at Azir's inventory and Akali's inventory, it's not that different. And same for the Vladimir and the Gnar. The problem is more in the ADC department, where Caliste's up a full item. But even then, it's just an ADC. Just to kill him. So if they can do that...
if they can one-shot Caliste, and then not fall into the crazy wombo combo that is a Gnar plus Fiddlesticks, that's the angle. But again, this is the struggle. KC stronger on the side lanes, getting first push.
And you can see SK are just fully choosing to ignore this bot lane, even though it's quite deep pushed in, because they really want to try to leverage some control around mid lane to be able to contest this Nash. But KC have already started it, and SK's vision is abysmal.
Trying to play around that brush, laying down a bit of vision. Loopy being the one to face check, which is a bit tough. Goes face first into Canna. Targamas crucially spotted, as is Vladi. But Loopy's just going to give his life. There's no recourse there for SK. They did mark the flank of both Vladi and Targamas, but no one could step up to cover for Loopy.
It's so hard for SK to properly face check now. KC might... Targamas is ulting in.
Targamas. Canna. Going in, but he just turned mini. It's a little bit awkward. They've gone over the wall into Keduii, but it's just enough. Caliste ulting over the wall, getting good damage down. Genex is now the one running. Vladi trying to follow up a heroic ulti to come out from FLICKR, but it's just too late.
And they have TPs on Vladi. It's 4 people down for the side of SK. They can try to end this here. Loopy has spawned, and Boukada's trying to clear the wave.
I mean, it was a 27-minute game 1. They want to make it the same in game 2, despite a vast difference in early game. Canna's still stepping up.
They only have 2 minions. I don't think they can actually end here. They're going to think the better of it and look to get double inhib. Might even be a triple inhib angle, as the top wave is crashing as well.
Bit risky to stay for 3, but no, they still have 15 seconds on FLICKR.
Yeah, long death timers.
There are some wards and TPs are there.
There's going to be triple inhib. So despite the game not literally ending, it might be metaphorically ending.
Metaphorically?
Metaphorically.
Effectively, maybe?
No, I like metaphoric, but I can say...
I don't think metaphoric is correct. What's the metaphor?
It's not correct, but
it feels right.
It feels right. Yeah.
I think maybe technically, it's technically not over.
But I want to use a cool different word. Well, here we have the fight.
Metaphorically, we're still playing... No, sorry. Metaphorically, the game of League of Legends is over.
Yeah. Metaphorically, we might all be dead. Loopy ends up going down here. They get chased down. Oh, and we got...
Meanwhile, side lane battle.
Canna.
Double recurve bow. This man wants his wits end. Heal! Trying to heal as much as he can. Canna. He's a big boy now.
Loopy might be ulting in.
He's all grown up.
Go, Loopy, go!
Baron is falling in the meantime.
Loopy's on a range.
Dramatic pan to the top side of the map.
Yeah, and now you get this Nash with triple inhibitor. They do only have 2 inhibs, but they're definitely going to be able to take this topside inhibitor with this Nash. And you have to feel that the game will metaphorically, literally, effectively, technically end.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a good metaphor, but metaphorically the game was over. So there's no room for me to insert another one.
Canna is quite far. This could be an opportunity for SK to engage before Canna gets here.
Yeah.
But
and again, but for SK, there's not a good recourse, right?
Yeah.
They fumbled the fight. KC outfought them, and then they continued to fall further and further behind as KC found a ton of these good picks. Targamas standing still, looking to set up for the ult, just out of vision. Crucially, Keduii might be in trouble, but Targamas walking back into vision, will not get the fear.
FLICKR able to get some damage onto Vladi,
Trying to
but
hide behind the little stubby part so he can get the fear.
I don't know.
It would appear so. Vladi, locked up, poked. But third and him's going to fall, and Canna's still pushing in the meantime.
Yeah.
They're so grouped up for a Mega Gnar. Finds two. Loopy trying to follow. Gen X big ulti, but a response ulti coming in the meantime. Boukada getting cut down as well. And once again, Gen X is just burnt by CC. But Vladimir not allowed to play the game. And KC looking to close this one out quick.
It's a beautiful game, a beautiful series from KC as they cement themselves as a more consistent top team. They will not lose to SK as some of our other top LEC teams have.
No, they certainly will not. SK taken out. Early game was good, but in the end, KC was better at every other step. 11-0-13 for Caliste.